Kamma in the context of conventional laws. When people live together, forming communities and societies, it is necessary for there to be a system of communication. Human beings draw on their ingenuity to establish units or means of shared understanding which they collectively acknowledge, uphold and apply. These shared and agreed upon conventions are essential for any society to thrive and to reach a stage one may refer to as a culture or civilization. In other words, every true civilization is based on such conventions. The primary and vital form of convention pertains to speech, enabling people to communicate with one another. This gives rise to words and languages, which act as a medium for exchanging ideas. Based on these conventions of speech is another layer of social prescriptions, i.e. the act of naming things. Besides the conventions of speech and nomenclature, people also set down prescriptions dealing with shared activities and actions, resulting in rules and regulations, laws, codes of discipline, and guidelines for behavior. And aside from these agreed upon conventions dealing with common actions and activities, there are further prescriptions attending to the question of what society should do when someone transgresses the rules, regulations, etc. These are matters to do with administrative power and punishment. In order for these agreed upon prescriptions to be truly effective, certain individuals are appointed, supervisory systems established to ensure that the rules and regulations are obeyed. This is how governance and administration is created. In order for the various conventions, both in regard to speech, including formal designations, and to actions, to truly function as they were intended and to exist as an integrated unit, a form of maintenance and management is required. Such an integrated system is referred to as Vinaya. The meaning of the term Vinaya encompasses the establishment of conventions, the management of affairs in accord with conventions, say by maintaining a code of discipline, and the setting down of rules in accord with these conventions. The term Vinaya thus has three layers of meaning. First, the establishment of a code of living or a system for regulating human activities. Second, the specific data or subject material stipulating or defining suitable and unsuitable behavior contained in such codes or systems. The third, the supervision and management of behavior so that it accords with such codes or systems. As mentioned earlier, conventional forms and structures lie at the heart of human societies and act to define them. A code of discipline, Vinaya, helps to accomplish the objectives of society and to fulfill the advantages of a chosen set of conventions. Therefore, on a basic level, a code of discipline supports conventions and safeguards society. On a deeper level, however, it is important to realize that such codes of discipline do not merely exist to control people, to maintain peace and order, or to ensure that people act in conformity with established forms and structures. These codes should be used to provide people with an opportunity to improve their lives. They should promote the mutual support and assistance among people, and to enable society to be a conducive venue for spiritual development for everyone. Note that social conventions and the regulatory codes truly giving form to such conventions are created by human beings and may thus be imprecise and even flawed. The reason that they may not be flawed, that they are grounded in truth, is because they are linked to essential realities at a deeper level, acting as a foundation. What are these essential realities acting as a foundation? They are those natural phenomena, things that exist in nature, which in Pali are referred to as Dhamma. This term Dhamma has a broad, all-inclusive meaning. In this context, it may refer to all natural phenomena, also referred to as Sabhava or Sabhava Dhamma, or it may refer to systems and structures inherent in nature, to laws of nature. It is precisely these real and actual phenomena that are the essence of human conventions. They act as the reference points to give meaning to such conventions. Without these reference points, human conventions are faulty and effectively futile. The laws of nature governing such phenomena, the systems of interrelated causes and conditions, are a foundation for the codes of conduct, Vinaya, established by human societies. If these codes, social systems, and structures are incongruous with the causes and effects inherent in these natural processes, these laws of nature, they will be flawed and are bound to come to naught. Human beings require an access to the essential truths inherent in nature and the true benefits provided by the laws of nature. The purpose of establishing conventions and setting down systems of conduct, either knowingly or unknowingly, is to meet these objectives. A very simple example for this is of a doctor who instructs the child of a sick man to return home with the patient, saying, "Every day prepare a pitcher containing 1.5 liters of distilled water for your father to drink." Here we see a social convention of language pointing to a truth inherent in nature, a cure for the illness, and a discipline system, a medicinal treatment plan, enabling people to benefit both from social conventions and from a system of interrelated conditions linked to various laws of nature. The greater is one's wisdom, the deeper is one's penetrative insight into how these various factors are interconnected. If one is endowed with wisdom, clearly discerning the interrelationship of various conditions, one's efforts will thus increasingly lead to success. Here I may outline two connected systems. 1. A natural system established in accord with natural laws. Whether human beings exist or not, or are aware of this system or not, it exists just so. In brief, one may call this system Dhamma. 2. A conventional human system created in order for society to be in harmony with and to benefit from nature and the laws of nature. In brief, one may call this system Vinaya. The human conventional system, Vinaya, must be firmly based on the system of nature, Dhamma, in order for it to be genuine and effective. In this sense, the Dhamma is both the foundation and the purpose of the Vinaya. Human laws must be established on and be in harmony with natural laws in order for people to profit from the laws of nature. As mentioned earlier, human society functions by way of conventions, sammati, forms based on mutual consent and approval, that allow for effective communication and management. The Vinaya refers to formulating a system to effectively regulate social activities. Mutually agreed upon conventions require social unity and concord, samagi, which enables people to accept, endorse, and follow the prescribed rules and regulations. Social unity is a foundation for social conventions. Devoid of such concord and unity, these conventions are unsound and the society in question is unstable. Without social concord, some people will reject the conventions. For instance, people will not respect the propriety rights of others, the rights of others in legal disputes, the rights of other factions or groups of people, and the rules and laws of society. This leads to social turmoil and unrest, and may even lead to the demise of society. Social concord is a foundation for codes of conduct, Vinaya, a guarantee for social conventions, and a source support for society. Over and above that, concord and harmony enables society to fulfill its potential of having each individual provide support for others, and of being a conducive environment for all people to develop themselves and to attain greater blessings, particularly in those communal systems or forms of governance in which all members have a participatory role. For example, in the Buddhist monastic Sangha and in state democracies, social harmony, concord, and unison lie at the heart of such systems. In this respect, the Buddha gave great emphasis to Sangha harmony, Sangha samagi, which must be paired with a secure monastic discipline, Vinaya. Those people responsible for society need to know how to apply codes of conduct skillfully in order to foster community harmony, Gana Samagi. Another responsibility of social leaders is to develop the willingness in people to unite together in endorsing and upholding just conventions. On a deeper level, wise individuals are able to act in line with the system of natural laws in order to achieve results. They investigate and regulate various causes and conditions. When they acquire an ample and integrated set of conditions, there arises a harmony of conditions, Pachaya Samagi. They realize the fruit of their aspired goal. If the conditions are inadequate and one lacks this integration, no matter how much effort one puts into one's actions, they will not reach success. As mentioned above, the codes of conduct, Vinaya, need to be based on Dhamma, which may be defined as natural phenomena or laws of nature. The term Dhamma, however, may also be interpreted as truth, righteousness, or goodness. This links us back to social harmony. If social conventions and the codes used to manage such conventions are neither grounded in nor accord with Dhamma, people will quarrel with one another and lack unity, refusing to accept these conventions. This leads to discord and schism. If this conflict and discord is severe or widespread, it may even lead to the destruction of that community or society. This matter of social harmony is thus of vital importance, even if social conventions thwart the personal interests of an individual. He or she won't be able to discredit them if they are established in righteousness. If people contravene the truth inherent in nature, they will experience adverse effects according to natural laws. If they contravene social conventions, they will be at odds with others in society and experience the ill effects due to the collapse of their community. When social conventions and codes of conduct are grounded in righteousness, people realize that they should foster communal harmony for the stability of their community or society. This is the case, for instance, in the monastic community. Besides supporting the monastic community and strengthening communal harmony, monks also honour the community and give priority to communal well-being. Indeed, the Buddha himself honoured the Sangha. The effort to strengthen one's community is not made to boost some form of collective identity, but rather to generate a supportive environment for each individual to mature and flourish. If the monastic community does not develop in stability, it will not be conducive to the prosperity and well-being of its members. It is for this reason that the principles of reference for the Sangha, Sangha Garavata, and Sangha Harmony, Sangha Samagi, are given such importance. As mentioned above, codes of conduct, Vinaya, are based on laws of nature, Dhamma, yet these two factors are distinguished from one another. The Dhamma refers to truths inherent in nature, whereas the term Vinaya refers to human conventions. Codes of conduct apply social conventions in order to support the Dhamma. One may even say that these codes help to direct the Dhamma, and from another perspective, they act independently of the Dhamma. They need not wait for the Dhamma to be set in motion. To illustrate this, let us take the example of someone who performs a bad action. From the perspective of Dhamma, one may refer to inherent laws of nature, i.e. the law of Kamma, which dictates that this person will naturally reap the fruits of his actions. Determined codes of conduct, Vinaya, however, need not wait for the Dhamma. Human laws set down authorized forms of conduct, Kamma Samati, and the person who transgresses these laws by misbehaving is called into an assembly and punished. Here the Vinaya does not wait for the Dhamma, i.e. it does not wait for the law of Kamma to complete its course. These human laws deal with its situation immediately. Here it is apt to offer a warning that there are many Buddhists who harbour a wrong understanding of this matter. Some people even claim that one need not respond at all to those who have done evil, because eventually they must receive the fruits of their karma. This is a mistaken view. Such people lack insight into the truth and have incomplete understanding. They fail to understand the essence of the Dhamma and the Vinaya. How is this true? Let us examine this matter more closely. By making the distinction between a system of nature and a system of human conventions, one may under the impression that these are indeed two separate systems, a world of nature and a world of human beings. In fact, the distinction is made simply for the convenience of examining various circumstances. Yet one should not be misled into believing that these are indeed two separate systems. A comprehensive inspection of this matter reveals that human beings are one facet or aspect of nature. Therefore, any kind of human activity or issue relates to nature and is included as a part of nature. Human volitional actions are described as following the law of Kamma, Kamma Niyama, which may give the impression that this is a distinct law. In truth, however, the law of Kamma is one kind of natural law. It is incorporated into the general law of cause and effect, Dhamma Niyama, and is part of dependent origination, Paticca Samuppada. It is distinguished simply to clarify one facet of the natural order. The distinction between Dhamma and Vinaya is made for the sake of convenience. When examining various stages of a natural process, yet a comprehensive view reveals that the system of human codes of conduct is incorporated into the Dhamma, which is a single large system of truth. Here we should examine just how these two systems are linked and how they are distinguished. Human activity is neither random nor haphazard. It does not resemble the branches of a tree, which move and sway only when buffeted by the wind or some external force. Human beings, in contrast, are able to move their limbs out of an act of will. If a man were to be walking down a path, and a rotten tree limb were to accidentally fall on his head, this would be different from someone else coming to deliberately whacking him over the head with a stick. Even if someone were to fall out of a tree and accidentally hit someone else, this too would be distinguished from a random tree limb falling down. What is the difference between these various scenarios? The answer is easy. Branches and other inanimate natural phenomena do not willingly perform actions, whereas people do. And if one investigates further, one asks, what is the source of human action? One's initial response may be people's minds. More to the point, the source of human action is intention, cetana. Intention is human action. Intention is Kamma. Intention, cetana, refers to volition, purpose, intent, the deliberate choice to accept or reject something, the willful choice to act in a particular way. Intention is the director of affairs, which induces various motivating factors, both positive and negative, including greed, hatred and delusion, craving, conceit and wrong view, and wisdom and loving kindness, to step forward and take an active role. Everything pertaining to the world of human beings, the establishment of conventions, the laying down of rules and legislations, allocation of resources, production, work, politics, technology, cultural traditions, social customs, etc., arise by way of human action and are determined and created by intention. Human beings are one cause and condition within the natural causal system, and intention is one factor in this process. Of all factors within the human mind, intention plays such a pivotal role that it is valid to say it represents the entirety of an individual person. It is the means by which people express themselves through actions, beginning with thoughts and then leading to speech and physical actions. As intention plays such a significant role, affecting and altering people's circumstances in countless ways, it is recognized as comprising a key domain in the natural causal system, worthy of special attention and investigation. For this reason, the law of Kamma, Kamma Niyama, is distinguished as a subsidiary law in the wider law of nature. The law of Kamma pertains to human society, to the world of human beings. Intention is the active agent behind Kamma. As stated earlier, one may say that intention is Kamma, or Kamma is intention. All human codes of conduct, Vinaya, as a part of a system of human conventions, are established and managed by human intention. Although these are social matters, ultimately they are included as causes and conditions within a larger natural process. They are not separate from nature. Wise and virtuous people establish codes of conduct in order to foster social peace and well-being. They wish for society to be just and upright, to be based in righteousness, the Dhamma. For this purpose, they link these codes of conduct with those systems inherent in nature, generating positive results for everyone in that society. Such people are clever in managing causes and conditions. They understand two overlapping systems of causes and conditions. When people are endowed with wholesome intention, they already engage in one form of positive Kamma. how should they act in order to generate good results according to such intentions? How can they affect the causes and conditions within natural dynamics so that they may achieve their desired success? The answer is simple. They must comprehend the requisite causes and conditions and act accordingly. Here, another vital spiritual faculty inherent in people themselves comes to the fore, namely wisdom, panya. Wisdom is another condition of nature that plays a participatory role in these natural processes. Wisdom is crucial because it has insight into nature. When developed, it becomes deeper and more comprehensive until it is perfected. This way one realizes the truth. Intention enables one to give rise to those causes and conditions leading to success. With good intentions and a comprehensive understanding of causes and conditions, wisdom then guides one's behavior. In a social context, one then applies social conventions in order to bring about a virtuous and just society. In regard to codes of conduct, Vinaya, intention draws upon causes and conditions to establish systems of rules and regulations. These codes are effective for producing positive results, even for those individuals who are not particularly virtuous or wise themselves. At this stage, the natural causal process is embodied and manifest within this code of conduct, enabling wholesome causes and conditions to be effective in a widespread and long-lasting way. As mentioned above, from the perspective of Dhamma, if one behaves immorally, one will reap the fruits of one's actions according to the law of Kamma. Yet the Vinaya, or the set of human laws, does not wait for these effects to come to fruition. Human laws lay down authorized forms of conduct, Kamma Samati, and the person who transgresses these laws is called into an assembly and punished. The Vinaya does not wait for the Dhamma, it responds immediately, according to these authorized forms of conduct. For example, if bhikkhus quarrel with one another, there are means for settling disputes by taking legal proceedings in order to determine fault, give a verdict, and impose a punishment. Here a Sangha assembly acts according to established prescriptions in order to settle the matter. If there is a legal case pending, but the monks fail to carry it out, they are also considered blameworthy. The Buddha did not permit them to simply claim that they were waiting for the law of Kamma to sort things out. The Vinaya does not delay. It proceeds immediately with its own authorized form of Kamma. See the Vinaya Pitaka for many examples of formal acts of the Sangha, including acts of censure, Nigaha Kamma. In sum, there exist two major systems, the Dhamma and the Vinaya. In regard to social matters, the Vinaya deals with certain matters immediately. The Vinaya establishes and implements conventions that enable the Dhamma to become manifest in society. If one neglects this second system, one's Dhamma practice will be faulty, and one's society will deviate from the truth. Here a deeper level of understanding is required. The expression, the Vinaya does not wait for the Dhamma, say in the above example of the monastic community applying authorized prescriptions and not waiting for genuine karma to bear fruit, is an informal way of speaking. One needs to guard against the misunderstanding that human beings are separate from nature and somehow exempt from its laws. The establishment of conventions and the application of codes of behavior pertain to a unique ability belonging to human beings, who are capable of taking personal sets of conditions and integrating them into wider dynamics of nature in order to generate wholesome and desirable results. In other words, the system of human conventions is a means for people to integrate their distinctive qualities of wisdom and intention into the wider natural causal process, influencing it so that it functions in a way as to produce favourable results for individuals and their society. Wisdom and wise deliberation are natural phenomena, but they belong to the domain of immaterial phenomena, Buddhadhamma, and they are exceptional qualities arising as a consequence of training and development, which is a part of people's spiritual potential. Human beings' distinction and excellence, giving rise to cultures and civilizations, lies precisely at this point. For if people are unable to apply these spiritual properties to shape the world around them in positive ways, what good is it to be a human being? In fact, that human activities stemming from wisdom and deliberation have the capability to influence the stream of natural causes and conditions, giving rise to favourable results, is an appeal and summons for people to develop these spiritual qualities in order to achieve true success. Human communities, including the monastic sangha, require concord and unity, samagi, so that their members accept the conventions and comply by the mutually agreed upon prescriptions. These codes of conduct in such communities will thus succeed in bringing about desired results. In sum, there are two kinds of Kamma. One, Kamma inherent in nature, Dhamma, constituting the law of Kamma. Two, Kamma inherent in conventional codes of conduct, Vinaya, established by human beings. In regard to the monastic code of discipline, the Vinaya, if a monk misbehaves, the Sangha applies authorized forms of conduct, Kamma Samati, prescribed by the Buddha to deal with the situation without waiting for the law of Kamma to be fully activated. By applying these authorized prescriptions stemming from human wisdom and deliberation, one integrates human spiritual factors with the law of nature on a wider scale. Note that the Kamma inherent in conventional codes of conduct does not only pertain to punishment or to problem solving, but may also be linked to positive and favourable action. The formal Sangha acts in the monastic Vinaya, for example, include ordination ceremonies, Upasampada Kamma, Upasota day ceremonies, Upasata Kamma, the formal invitation for admonishment, Pavarana Kamma, and various conventional activities, Samati Kamma, like electing Sangha officers. To conclude, those teachers endowed with supreme wisdom who have realized the Dhamma, arrived at the highest truth, and are awakened, are known as Buddhas. But if they stop at this point, they are silent Buddhas, Pacceka Buddha. If, however, the virtue of their great compassion they established and apply a Vinaya so that all of humanity benefits from the Dhamma, they are perfectly enlightened Buddhas, Sama Sambuddha. Therefore, to derive the greatest value from Buddhism, besides realizing the Dhamma, realizing the laws of nature, one needs to establish a Vinaya, attend to matters pertaining to human society.